We'll show the video at some other point. Do you have my PPT?
PPT is on, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay, so the topic that I'm speaking to is how do we accelerate the process of literacy? We know there are millions of people out there who need that literacy, and the efforts are not nearly enough. Kofi Annan, he said literacy is the bridge from misery to hope. In a recent report, UNESCO Millennium Development Project report, it's mentioned that 37% of the world's adult illiterates are Indians. That's over 4 times the population of France. This is the report, the EFA Global Monitoring Report, and that's 2013-14, issued in January 2014. That's a whopping nearly 30 crore people in India. What's really disturbing is the fact that the rise in literacy over the decadal period 2001 to 2011 was 11.4% by government statistics, while the rise in population by the same statistics was 17.6%. So maybe we're in a lost battle if we don't do something dramatically different. So if we calculate 11% per decadal period, it'll take us nearly 40 years, and taking into account the population growth rate, at the current rates, it'll take 40 years for India to become literate. Can we wait that long? What's also interesting is that the data that we collected in Lucknow district shows that while the government statistics say 22.7% people in Lucknow are illiterate, our data of 4 lakh people, 4 lakh households, 16 lakh people, shows 31.1% are illiterate. And this is including urban areas. So the rural areas even worse. And when the NSSO did an independent evaluation of the government data, it found that 34% of those who claimed literate status had failed to qualify the test. So the statistics are definitely exaggerated. Very interesting research by Cambridge University shows that the poverty gap would have had to be reduced by 25% to save 1 child per 1,000 live births, whereas a mere 4% increase in literacy would have done the same. So 4% increase in literacy equates to more than 25% in income gain. And literacy is the only significant predictor of public health. Even poverty gap is not a good predictor or reliable predictor. So we know the benefits counters fears, you get better informed citizens, it boosts their self-esteem, more children are mainstreamed, and population control, obviously. So this historical overview, 14 years of failed attempts, the red area, and then suddenly 2014 came across a breakthrough thought process and out-of-box thinking that led to some new developments that you are somewhat aware of. The first meeting of the board took place in June. This is the board comprising some 80 of very fine people out of Lucknow. And the breakthrough was coming up with a time-efficient, low-cost, and effective toolkit. And it uses a vastly different methodology of teaching, one that makes sure that learners learn really, really fast. Merely 15 to 20-minute sessions are enough, though children tend to teach for 1 hour. These are not necessary. They tend to play games. They tend to take up time in other ways. But 15, 20-minute sessions are enough. It means 1 month to make a person reading capable, being able to read a newspaper. 1 month writing capable. They can write more than name. They can write names of sabjis, chacha, chachi, the whole lot. And even they can write address for a letter. They can read, of course, anything. 1 month further, and they'll be numeracy capable. And the costs are very low. It's freely downloadable from our website, so cost is 0, perhaps the cost of printing that toolkit. And if you take a toolkit which has a number of aspects in it, then it is up to 50 rupees, so very, very cheap. The methodology is that we go from the known to the unknown. The learner already knows patang and the sound pa, patang pa. And then the new thing is the symbol pa and ra, rasira, pa, ra. And this is gha, ghadi gha, and Rasi Ra. So Gha and Ra together is Ghar. So immediately, instead of saying I, U, they tend to make real words and complete sentences in the very first 15-minute session. And the first sentence they make is Ab bas par ghar tak chal. We now have 13 different languages. The project has grown really fast in the mere 2-year span since the breakthrough thought came through in our minds. And these versions are now available across the country through Rotary, of course. So if we look at the differences between various other alternatives, it's anywhere you pass by a pan ki dukaan and you give it to the pan wala ki bhaiya pad lo, hum aayenge agli baar 10 minute khade hoke wahan pe padha diya. Anywhere, no fixed location, any time versus fixed timings, which are very difficult for these people. Anyone can teach, you don't need trained teachers or trained volunteers. 20-minute sessions are enough versus 2-hour sessions with alternative programs. 30 hours enough for most learners versus 300 hours or more. And costs are very low in comparison to the other costs. The hidden costs are even more of the NLM program. Learning to read from the first session itself versus later, and so it acts as a motivator when the learner can learn right away. And neoliterates know a lot more than other data would show from competing programs. I'm not going to go into the major benefits here, but interventions have been many, like summer assignment. Each one reach and teach at least one. That's one of the summer assignments. Been very successful with children in Lucknow, and then beyond that with Shekhar Mehta ji's initiative and RILM initiative across the country. There are school-based labs, which have been somewhat ambiguous in terms of their impact, because teachers, if they don't take it seriously, but this can be an aspect that can really do wonders down the road. Skill development, combining it with literacy, community-based labs, and municipal schools working on quality improvement in literacy, reading skills, and numeracy. Fantastic results from schools. So one is empowering students at school. Student volunteers of classes 5 to 12 are very suited to take this up, as you've seen already in a video presented earlier. Parents largely pitch in when their children are involved, and domestic helpers are some of the prime beneficiaries when students are involved. Both learners and volunteers benefit in manifold ways. I mean, it's clear that the children who teach benefit so very much. Research is very conclusive that when children get involved in projects that have a service component and real life experiences, children learn a number of life skills and they become much more courageous. They learn to be proactive leaders of social change. Enormous number of changes come when children become involved in social service, and this kind of social service especially. Youth are a major untapped resource. We are now getting into universities and colleges and expect the same from our collaboration with Rotary, that we'll tap this untapped resource. Had some pilot testing of the thought process, and yes, it works beautifully. We've also been working with government schools by training BTC trainees in our curriculum, very short, brief training. And they went to 81 government schools, and phenomenal. Data is absolutely conclusive. This has really improved in a very short span of time reading levels at the government schools. The retired pensioners and housewives, we involve them to some extent. Question is, how do we reach them? Involving corporate employees, many corporations have employee engagement programs for social service. So this could be an interesting take-up by them. Modalities are toolkits, school kits, mobile apps, and dream labs. So this is a picture of a dream lab. Toolkits include, as you probably, many of you know, 3 booklets, 2 on literacy, 1 on numeracy, then a number of cards, pre-tests and post-tests and such. Mobile app, it's nearly done. I keep wanting it more perfected, so it's not in the downloadable mode right now, but will be soon. Then the Dream Labs, they've proved to be not just a center for teaching literacy, they become a place where adults come, adult women in particular, come to socialize, where children gear towards for their after-school studies, is serving more like a community center. And I see a lot of benefit for continuing education after the literacy period. Whoever we have taught through our literacy labs, who have passed the NLM examination, are very much still coming to their lessons and continue to read beyond class 3 level. And now they're aspiring to do class 5 NIOS test. These are the certificates given by NIOS. And we also have been testing the idea of involving community-based volunteers. In this case, we have worked in a village called Karoni. It's a 5,000 population village. And what has been fascinating about this particular program in that village is the women there are the leaders. We have trained them. They've started centers in their own homes. They've been going, not non-stop. 180 ladies took the NIOS examination, the NLM examination by NIOS on August 15th. And 135 passed. The others took the test a month later and passed as well. So, and then they are continuing and more new enrollees are also coming in. So these are some of the community-based volunteers. They're doing selfless, devoted service and they're enjoying it thoroughly. So I think this is a model that's really replicable. It works beautifully because everybody feels a part of the story in their own village and they feel like they're making a valuable contribution. And I think this has had magical response. Here are the ladies, some of the 180 taking the examination. The video would have shown you a lot more. And some of them holding an alternative certificate. We gave that out because we were anxious to get their certificate till the NIOS certificate came. And what we feel is now, having done all these various other things and tried and dabbled with a lot of pilots of different sorts and seen what works, what doesn't work, what kinds of things we need to improve. For example, we have to improve on the participation of male volunteers. We don't have male volunteers. And then, so what experience has shown hitherto that literacy program to be successful, especially at a large scale and to accelerate literacy, we will need a people's movement. It will not be enough to go just through the schools or colleges, universities or community centers. We'll have to make it everyone's business. And this is what happened in Kerala, in Ernakulam. So making of a people's movement would mean banking on the idea that literacy can be achieved quicker if everybody chips in. And we are also trying to raise awareness by bringing in the media in different forms. For example, right now I brought a film with me which has been made by Dileep Shukla. Dileep has written, he's a Bollywood film scriptwriter you may know of. He's written Dabang, he's written Jai Ho and so on. And now he's written a film script for literacy. And he's made a short 5-minute film, which I would like very much, if there's consent, to show it as well. It's by Dileep Shukla. It came to me last night. He's worked day and night on it, filming in Lucknow and Mumbai. So instead of 40 years, we could probably do it right away if you could make it a people's movement. Very quickly. Okay, 6 months may be unrealistic, but if we took them up on today, every single learner, within 6 months, India would be literate. And wouldn't that be wonderful? We can imagine, we can think, can't we? And dream a big dream, which is possible, entirely possible. Especially when in 1 month you can make somebody literate, and 2 more months numerate. In UP, we worked with the government as well. This is another thing that I think has a very powerful scaling impact. So can accelerate literacy, is working with government apparatus. This has produced fantastic results on the ground. And 4,000 government teachers got trained, who then went out into villages and to the city and did a fantastic job in collecting data. So lots of ways. Abdul Kalam ji said that from now onwards, I will teach at least 10 persons, one of the vows or oaths that he wants every Indian to take. From now onwards, I will teach at least 10 persons to read and write those who cannot read and write. So Global Dream is a catalytic program because it's quick, it's easy, and it's flexible and catches the imagination of young and old. And so this is my last slide, RILM and Global Dream. Last year, after the Rotary Asian Summit in Pune, Shekhar Mehta ji invited us to Kolkata, and this led to a flurry of activities which got us into schools across the country. The 61,500 children who participate in the program is in 15 states, phenomenal. So hats off to Rotary group as a whole and to Shekhar Mehta ji as the lead for this. In this campaign, the students adopt at least one adult illiterate and teach him or her. It must have gone fine, and I believe so. We saw the film as well. That's why I'm invited back again, otherwise probably not, right? So I think it's gone very well, and we want to continue with that. Okay. And looking forward to continued collaboration and then to explore new and innovative ways, not